Hey Barbie, so for today's video, this is quite different from the usual that you've been seeing in my YouTube channel. So I've already done some covers and makeup tutorials, but now I'll be conducting an interview. So this video is for educational purposes. I'll be interviewing Miss Joy. She is my former teacher way back in high school.
Hello, good morning. I am Miss Jenny Lynn Lemos and I'm from Holy Deliverance Integrated Christian School, and I've been teaching English for 3 consecutive years now. And yeah, so to answer your question, how do I select materials in the classroom? So in terms of that matter, so the materials that I've been needing whenever I am in my classroom or considered my classroom, I make sure that the material that I'm going to use is authentic, and of course it is reliable and legit in terms of the language itself, because it is very important, especially when you're teaching the kids the second language. It's very crucial, especially kapag like us na we're not fluent in English because we are only using the second language. No, we're just borrowing it from other countries. Pero how are we going to instill those things or those the language itself to the students by using whenever you enter the classroom? Of course, the environment should be in a second or should use the second language as their media of instruction, especially when you're in English. And as much as possible, your designs in the classroom, the visual aids or the materials that you're going to use, make it sure that they are in the second language. Of course, aside from you are teaching English, then there is you have to be very vigilant in terms of using the materials, kasi especially right now that we are doing online class, as much as possible, the videos, the PowerPoint presentations, the traditional aids, the visual aids, the books that we're going to use is you have to check or recheck the languages that you will encounter, because it's very important that you have to read first your manual, you have to read first the content of the lesson that you're going to teach before you actually teach them inside the classroom for an effective application of the language itself. Although it's very crucial and it's somehow what do you call that one? Somehow quite hard for us, but through practice, no, it will enhance naman, yes. Ayan, and for your question number 2, the strategies, what are the strategies and techniques that I am using in teaching literature? Actually, we have a lot of pedagogies, the methods and the techniques that we can apply. Pero in my classroom, personally, if I am going to give you the strategies that I'm going to give in terms of teaching literature, kasi in this in this curriculum talaga in English, it is integrated and combined. We have aside from the speaking, the grammar, we have the literature, the language, and so the listening, and then the speaking itself. So you have to integrate all of those. And how are you going to integrate that in literature? So as much as possible, and make it sure that the top point or the main topic itself is the literature. So you just have to integrate the grammar itself, because in teaching literature, you have to, aside from the moral lesson, you have to teach the elements. No, you have to. Kaya nga, I prefer teaching literature kasi you can give ad-libs, you can give additional informations with the use of second language, you can ask their opinions. Kumbaga, it's the resources are very unlimited. You can ask the students to enhance their critical thinking skills when you are teaching literature. But of course, you don't have to forget the what do you call that? The grammar that you have to integrate. Pero hindi naman natin malalaman yun kasi somehow when they are really focused on the literature itself, actually kasi kapag nasa junior high school, I realized during this online class, when we are teaching literature, it's really important that you have to impart to them the importance of the moral lesson, the elements, and the strategies that I've been doing this past few years is I've let them first identify or analyze the cover image and the image that what do you call that? I am asking them on their own connotation and understanding of what the image, what do you call that? And what the image, or what is for them, what is the meaning of the image that they're seeing. Kumbaga, you have to get their idea. And then, of course, aside from that, aside from the elements, you just have to go beyond and think outside the box. That you have to integrate and make use of other games or energizers that is also connected to the literature itself. Kasi without, for example, when you're teaching English 8, so it is about the English, Afro-Asian literature. So you have to make use of you have to make use of the energizers or a video presentation or a short quotation with the use of or which has something to do also with the topic that you're going to teach. So it's really important that you have to read the story itself before you actually get into the lesson plan and determine what are the steps that you're going to take. Ayan. And for your third question, I have to tell the difference between online class and face-to-face class. Ako, talagang I really miss, it is an advantage for the students to have online class. Kasi, ano ba naman, they are not going to school anymore, they're not going to prepare a lot of things, they're not going to physically attend class. Kasi, whether we like it or not, the 21st century learners talaga, they are very emotional, they're very easily get tired, kaya dapat you have to put a lot of effort. So, idadagdag ko lang kasi how do I select materials. Kapag po, if you're selecting, I will just have to give tips for, especially kapag magsa-start ka and you're teaching elementary first, kasi pag private schools, hindi mawawala that you're going to teach elementary even though secondary education major in English ka. Please, tip ko lang, that the materials, if you're also a language teacher, the materials that you're going to use should be colorful as well. So, para they should listen, apart from, kasi it's really important that they just don't hear what you teach. So they need also to listen at that, kasi it's very different. The hearing is different from listening. Kasi pag hearing, pwede lang nila marinig and outside the other ear, and then when they listen attentively. So you have to make use of the colorful materials, especially or yung mga vocabulary words, you can paste it on your classroom. Actually, you can create your own kasi nga, it will take time, it will take a lot of effort, and if you're not really into teaching, and if you don't have the love for teaching and the love for the kids, for them to really grasp, and to enjoy the class, the English class, then so I think my tip for you is you just quit education kasi this is very crucial. But anyways, ayun na naman, colorful materials. But the difference is, advantage talaga sa students yung online class, and our disadvantage as a teacher is we cannot evaluate them with the mere fact that we're only seeing them in this four corners of the television or the computer, sa PC. You cannot just evaluate them like that kasi there are a lot of things or challenges that you need to consider. The internet connection, it's really hard for us. Although yung resources yung resources is very easy to get kasi we have the PowerPoint presentation, the video presentation. You don't have to prepare the additional colorful materials, all in the PowerPoint presentation, the Prezi, you can make use of a lot of apps. Pero in terms of evaluating talaga, it is a disadvantage to us, tapos lalo na yung mga formative and summative exams, the quizzes, the activities. Kaya I am basing as an English teacher, I am actually basing the performance on our synchronous class. Tinatanong ko sila if they can, I am I am testing if they can speak with their own or they can make use of the second language. Ayan, fluently or not, as long as they can make use of that with a lot of ano bang tawag dito? Applying the topics that we have discussed. Of course, i-apply mo muna siya. You can expect students to respond to the topics that you didn't teach or you didn't clearly teach. So, it's really important, ano, na very different talaga siya. Ako, pag papipiliin, I really do love face-to-face class. Kahit ako, even though I am a little, my height is very little, pero the respect that I received in terms of teaching is very high. Kasi bakit? Kasi you have instilled to the students, regardless na kung ano man yung kakayanan mo, but inside the classroom, you have the authority to discipline them, you have the authority to ang tawag dito, to give them positive reinforcement, to follow up, no, kung ano man yung mga kakulangan nila. Kasi pag sa bahay, they have their families, no, nandun yung parents nila, kailangan minimal yung galaw mo kasi one wrong word that you're going to say, you can easily judge kasi merong mga nanonood sa bahay. Unlike when you are face-to-face. Kapag tayo lang nasa apat na classroom, four corners of the classroom, you are the master. You are the leader and you are the facilitator inside the classroom. So, I prefer talaga face-to-face. I prefer talaga face-to-face and it is very a disadvantage for online class. Gaya nga, yan lang. So, that is the difference, no? In terms, and also pala, no, in terms of our health. Lessen yung time kasi, according to the Department of Education, dapat malilesen yung screen time nila. So, instead of the English subject, instead of 4 to 5 days mo siyang ituturo for 1 hour, nag-i-ano na lang, first schedule na 2 days na lang. So, it's really hard talaga. Pero, we are following the most essential learning competencies, which is the shortened topics na yung pinaka-essential lang na i-disc. Pero, ano pa rin for my experience, it's not really enough pa rin kasi, let's just say na 2 days, or 2 days a week. Pero, it's really impossible for a child to understand, especially kung may span ng time na mapapahinga nila. So, wala siyang follow-up the other day. Alam niyo naman mga students. So, yeah. I'm not an expert, though I'm not an expert, pero I'm sharing my experience teaching in English. I've been teaching English pala since from grade 2. I experienced teaching grade 2. Grade 3, no. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then senior high school. And I also taught 21st century literature and contemporary. So that is why I have experienced a lot. And thanks to the Lord, I've been surviving this industry, this profession, this calling, and I really believe that this, if you don't have, kasi pag mahina tayo talaga, we don't focus na on we don't focus on what we're going to get, pero kung ano yung makukuha ng mga bata. So it will take a lot of guts, it will take a lot of courage, a lot of patience, na kahit yung mga bata, on and off yung camera, walang kausap, or you just have to make, meron akong mantra sa mga bata talaga that I instill to them, that whenever we are entering English class, English time, so meron silang tatandaan, they have to be happy, they have to love learning, and they have to enjoy the English subject. Ayan lang po, because in enjoying the class, there is a possibility that there will be a retention within their mind. So I think, I'm sorry for the delay, but I think that's it for the questions that we have. Paki-ano na lang, Stitch. So, hi, Dean Ja, or Director Ja. I missed you so much. God bless po. So, I'm going to share you, papakita ko sa'yo, or I'm going to share you what happens before my class in an online class. So, ito lang. Ito, meron muna. I will prepare myself, of course. Ayan, so, I'm using the platform Zoom because it's very essential whenever we use annotation buttons and stuff like that. Okay, so, this is how we prepare. Nag-meet. Okay, sige, for a while. For discussion, para ma-engage yung students or ma-energize yung students bago ang lahat. Actually, hindi lang ito yung video, pero, I mean, ito lang yung previews, yung latest. Ayan. So, that is my grade 6 class. And, ayan. So, sila yung pinaka-energized. Pero yung junior high school ko talaga, I am applying a different level of energy. Ayan, para ma-engage sila sa class. I hope I could somehow help your assignment or homework in terms of this one. So, I pray na you have achieved, even though hindi kita masyadong kilala personally, pero I pray to the Lord that He gives you strength and courage when you enter this profession and a calling. So, remember lang, talagang kung isipin, medyo mahirap siya, pero if you trust the Lord and if you really love the students, all this will paid off. At when it comes to ganito naman, you can expect talaga a high, but you just have to, kailangan na talaga love for teaching. Kasi, ayun lang po. So, thank you very much. May the Lord bless you abundantly and the wisdom. And sana makatulong itong video na to, even though yung example ko is based on only my experience. Okay, thank you po. God bless.
'Cause the players gonna play, 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 play.